made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yep, you want your boy? Go pick him up. He's over here on a fucking concrete where I left him.
On an individual level, we have to learn that they are vile.
Not worth the calories.
And you're Gen Z and you won't date me.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome, one and all. I'm Casey.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen, bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all things looking like the animal you're riding and outpunching your own stupidity to great financial success.
There you go.
Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com to cast your ballot in the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, as well as find a link to our Twitter, a link to our YouTube, and a link to our Patreon. That gains you access into our live Discord during all free and bonus episodes. A brand new Ladies of the Night will be recorded next week. Be there with us. Leave a voicemail to be heard on the show at 321-POV-FUCK. And don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast feed you're using. If it's Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star rating and a review of which condom brand you find best to drink out of. DC.
The ones with the most amount of spermicides.
If you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
I sure will. Casey, we brought in Gary Busey, the man who looked like his horse. Totally a gentleman. Plus 11. But, unfortunately, outdone, or fortunately, depending on which one of us you are. Conor McGregor. Totally a gentleman as well. Plus 12.
You're goddamn
Killer.
right he is.
Killer, dude. Somebody must have voted wrong to have Gary Busey, the world's most handsome man, I think, after Donald Trump.
Before or after? What do you think?
Before the accident.
Yeah, I think probably
he's
before.
actually more attractive during the accident, I think. The most attractive.
Yeah, that was a blast, and I think we're going to outdo it tonight, DC.
I hope so. We're going to try.
Very excited. Let's do top three, bottom three. I got two of the top three, so I'll go first.
Go for it.
DC.
I know.
You know what?
Just say
From three.
Yeah, from
Plus
three.
71, Donald Trump in third place. At a plus 76 in second place. It has finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, just gentlemen. Harry Vox, plus 76. First overall, the ultimate gentleman, once again, the reigning, defending Mel Gibson, plus 78. Yes.
I do love to see it. I was weirded out by Harry Vox going straight to the top, but as soon as the anti-vaxxers found his old 2014 shit and us, satirically shitting on him, even though he is a gentleman, I was surprised to see him go number one. And he just kept getting the love, but, Mel Gibson, I think, tried and true, he's gonna end up there by his year mark and he'll fall off.
Mel Gibson is inevitable. That's what we've learned.
He is.
To the bottom three.
That is also inevitable. The people have not changed, but their numbers have all gone down slightly. Jake Paul down to 135. Joe Biden in second to last down to 187. And again, Tommy Tudor at over double that, just barely, at a minus 376. Still a garbage person.
In terms of gentleman updates this week, DC, looking through our YouTube page, I did notice that the people love Jeremy Kirk.
The
people
love to watch him.
So if you find a nice police impersonator, we really enjoy that. So gentleman nominations in the Discord, hop in there after you go to the Patreon because we enjoy that.
I actually rewatched that whole episode and it holds up. He's really
great,
it's really
dude.
funny. It holds up
so
after
great.
a few months.
Arrested on his own body camera. You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. Maddox is still a crazy banana. I got a free subscription to his Twitch stream, so I'm going to be watching some of those and pulling some highlights. He still might be writing fanfic vampire porn as a woman, as like an anime waifu, something weird.
What's he doing?
I don't know, man. I think he gets paid for this. I mean, I could check his Patreon right now, but I really don't give a shit. I know at his height on Patreon, when I looked, he was making like $300, which for somebody who used to have like 300,000 followers on YouTube is really embarrassing.
You might have been gifted from a nice Two Goddamn Gentlemen listener. Little subscription there. That's nice.
Yeah. Yep. So Jeremy Kirk getting a lot of love. Jeremy DeWitt, the other police impersonator, getting some love. And Mel Gibson, like we said, getting it in the voting booth.
They're getting it ironically. People hate the real police so much now. They actually are a fan of Kirk and DeWitt. So good for them.
All right.
DC nomination time. Let's get right into it.
Okay. Let's do it.
My gentleman tonight, you might know him by something else, but we're going to just start with his name. My gentleman is David Berkowitz.
He looks like one of Al Capone's stand-in stunt doubles. You know,
His stand-in facing the other way, I think, maybe. He was born a gentleman from this past century, DC, if you believe it, on my side. Born in 1953 in Brooklyn. Let's start right from childhood. Mom was married, but divorces the husband like 13 years before. She must have kept the last name because she gives him the last name when he's born. His not his father, but his mom's first husband. So her new boyfriend, whether it's because of that or maybe he just didn't like him, his real father, her new boyfriend, when he's born, is like, you know what? I'm going to break up with you, I think. I don't really want to be with you. And she's like, wait, what if I give him up for adoption? And he's like, now you're talking. So he's given up for adoption. He gets adopted by a nice Jewish family that owns a hardware store and officially becomes a Berkowitz.
okay.
This was the beginning of a somewhat troubling childhood. He was a pretty smart kid, but did not pay attention in school. He was, as a teenager, doing petty larceny, starting fires.
So he's more like a Polish Berkowitz than a Israel Berkowitz.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
Okay.
Neighbors and relatives would basically describe him as difficult, spoiled, and a bully. And let's be honest, one of those three was at least pretty easy to predict. His adoptive parents, the Jewish hardware store owning couple, brought him to a few different psychiatrists to try to figure out what was going on. But his actions and his attitude never really resulted in any big legal intervention as a kid, and it never made it into a school record. So I guess he was doing fine.
Well, he probably had an uncle or two that was a lawyer.
That's it could. I doubt it. That doesn't seem likely. Adoptive uncle,
Just saying.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Berkowitz's adoptive mother passed away when he was 14, and his adoptive dad, I think he liked him very much. He got a new girlfriend. David was not happy with that. Not having a good time through high school.
Okay.
So, as you do when you're not having a good time through high school, you join the Army.
You jerk off. Oh, that's right. Join the Army.
Join the Army. Served in an infantry division in South Korea. Now, get in there for this guy. Got an honorable discharge. You never hear about those. You always hear about the
Not
other
on
ones.
this show.
Not on this show. No,
this
he
show
got
you
he got the nice honorable discharge.
Nice.
And he located to near his birth mother, Betty. And he started hanging out with her. And after a couple of visits, she decided, okay, I guess it's time. He's probably in his 20s or at least late teens at this point. He can learn the story of his birth, his original father.
You're your own father. What?
Oh, man, I didn't see that coming. So he found out that his dad basically was like, ooh, I don't think so. He's got to go. That's not cool.
Yeah.
And then he was thinking about like his other dad, and he didn't really like him. And this greatly disturbed him. And he really didn't like that nobody wanted to be his dad. Now, here's a quote. This has been described as the primary crisis of his life, a revelation that shattered his sense of identity. And what I noted from that was it's never, ever a good sign when other people have to identify your primary crisis. That means something goes bad.
Yeah, it does. And he wasn't as lucky as some other kids in that situation, Like, LeBron could just go play basketball, find a
That's
coach.
true. David Berkowitz had no shot playing basketball.
No shot. Yeah.
He bounced through community college, drove cabs, was sorting mail. Just the rough shit continues.
Right.
So, daddy issues, check.
Yep.
Arson and larceny as a teen, check.
You betcha.
Acting out in a bunch of different ways, check. What happens next, DC? What do you think?
He gets somebody pregnant.
No, violent crime, actually. So close. So close.
It's not always mutually exclusive.
Now, he had a type. And it was white women with brown hair, which, I get it.
Yeah, no shit.
He claimed that when he was 22, he committed his first attack.
Ooh,
So obviously,
okay.
he's gonna be telling us about some things later on.
Yeah.
Now, in his first attack, he used a hunting knife, and he stabbed 2 women. One of them was never identified. I don't think they knew each other because the other one was hospitalized and she survived, and presumed the other one survived as well. He wasn't a suspect in it. He moved to a different part of New York City. This is what he did. He just lived in and around the boroughs. And for him, this was an utter failure because he's trying to murder.
Yeah.
Yep. So he decides he's going to switch weapons and he's going to start using a gun, and he'll reveal his name later on to the police. But now I feel comfortable revealing his name to everyone else. Now officially, he becomes Son of Sam.
Oh shit.
And the first shooting attributed to Son of Sam occurred in 1976. It was Donna Luria and her friend Jody. They were 18, 19 years old, medical techs. They were sitting in a double-parked car outside the club. They were getting ready to go wherever, or maybe go home, whatever. Luria was, I guess, getting out to get to her car, and she noticed a man approaching quite quickly with a gun. And he
As you do.
And he had pulled it out of a paper bag. And this is first bizarre move. He stops walking, bends to a knee, gets perfect placement, arm over arm, and braces his one arm over the other, for the listeners, aims the weapon, and fires. Just random, out of nowhere. Luria was shot, died instantly. Valenti shot in her thigh. Third bullet misses both. Not a good shot. And then he turned and walked away. So Valenti describes her thigh shot and said she didn't recognize him. She described him as having short, dark, curly hair, white male in his 30s, and here's the tough part, 5'8", 200. Means he was heavier. That's rough. Means he was heavier.
And this was in New York, this all happened?
Yep.
Okay. So they found him immediately.
5'8",
And then
200.
again and again and again, and they kept finding him all day as they looked around.
So there had been a couple witnesses, even family members, I guess they lived nearby, had seen someone that looked like this, but no suspects.
Okay.
So months later, a similar shooting occurs in a residential area in Flushing in Queens. Carl, a Citibank security guard, and Rosemary, she was a college student, they were sitting in her parked car when all of a sudden the windows shatter. Carl Denaro, the guy, says it felt like the car exploded. She quickly turned on the car and sped away for help. The panicked couple did not realize that someone had been shooting at them, only that a window exploded, even though Denaro was bleeding from a bullet wound to the head.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, surprise. Now, Denaro had shoulder-length hair, so police later speculated that the shooter had mistaken him for a woman. So, damn, shot and insulted.
Ah.
Hate to see it.
Insult to injury.
As with the Luria Valenti shooting, there didn't seem to be any motive for this, and police made no progress with the case. Even though almost all of the details are similar, 2 people, presumed both women, parked car late at night, shooter walks up to the car, fires, and walks away. Very similar things. But DC, what year is this? It's in the 70s, right? So police have no fucking clue about the murder that happened a mile and a half away.
No, none.
Different.
It hasn't come over the wire yet.
It's only been a couple months.
Yeah.
So free to move about the city is David Berkowitz. 1 month later, Two high school students walking home from a movie after midnight. They get to the house. They're standing up on the front porch. Probably one's going to leave to go home. A man dressed in military fatigues. He's got them.
That probably wasn't weird back then either.
Just people walking around.
Dude, just coming home from NAM. Yeah, seriously. Just people coming home from NAM and military shit all the time.
So he approaches them after midnight and begins to ask directions. Now, this is how it was described after. In a high-pitched voice, he asked, "Can you tell me how to get..." And then took out a gun. He shot each of the victims once, and as they fell to the ground, he shot a bunch of shots into the apartment building, just into the side of the wall.
Hey, Brazilian style. There you go.
Nice.
And then I got 18 more bullets in this gun. They're already dead. What do I do? Bam, bam, bam. Just discharge wherever.
But once again, DC doesn't exactly meet his goal, as both victims survive, although one, now a paraplegic, so, small victories for him.
Hey, there you go.
Witnesses saw a blonde man run away with a gun, but again, no suspects, no correlation to any other recent crime. Basically, being a serial killer in the 70s is like being Banksy. No one's going to figure out who you are. It's fine. Just do whatever you want.
They just appreciate it from afar.
2 months later, Christine, a secretary, and her friend John, a bartender, have just seen the movie Rocky. And they're sitting in their car a little past midnight, and they're going to go out dancing. Mm-hmm. And then 3 gunshots enter the car. In a panic, they drive away for help. The guy suffered some injuries. The girl died. Neither victim saw the attacker. But this time, DC, the police seem to think there might be some similarities to some other crimes happening recently.
Wait a minute.
This all seems familiar. So they kind of put a couple things together, and things you would not have figured out after just the first 2, right? You would need multiple to figure out that all the victims had been shot with .44 caliber bullets, right? You would have needed at least 5 or 6 dead bodies to do that. And that the shootings seemed to target young women with dark hair in cars at night. So, hard to figure that out.
And if the next crime scene has another size 12 shoe, then we'll really know we're not looking for 20 different guys all doing the same crime like we have been.
Oh, DC, don't be ridiculous. He's 5'8".
We've got 5 different partners working on all different... Oh, shit. The good news is, though, that they never do them at the same time. They are nice enough that these murders all spread out their crimes. They're never doing them at the same time, fortunately. So, thank God.
Yeah,
thank God for that.
It's good news. It's lucky for everyone, I think. So a New York police sergeant, Richard Conlon, stated that the police were, quote, leaning towards a connection in these cases.
Ooh.
Interesting. Ooh. Composite sketches are released of the shooter from both the Luria Valenti shooting and the Lamino Damasi shooting. And the police are like, okay, not the same guy. Sorry, multiple suspects, different crimes. No worries.
Solved.
Goddamn sketches. So, a couple months later, if you haven't noticed the theme, Columbia University, now it's evening time, so early bedtime for the old son of Sam. Columbia University student Virginia is walking home from school when she's confronted by a man with a pistol. She lived about a block away from where Christine had been shot, one of the past victims. In a desperate move to defend herself, she lifts her textbooks up in front of her face as a shield.
Smart.
It didn't work.
Ah, damn it.
Didn't work.
They didn't know. They didn't have that much stuff written in their books yet. It was only the 70s. There was so much more to write in the future editions.
A couple days later, there's a press conference between the NYPD officials and the mayor, and they are like, okay, yeah, same .44 caliber rounds as those other ones. So you know what? I think they are connected. I think they are connected now. So they're back on track. But all
this is reaching 20. This is almost 20 white women. We have to stop this now. This must stop now. The black guys in the corner are like, what the fuck?
So all this attention, Berkowitz not going to stop. A little over a month, like a month and a week later, after this press conference, Alexander Isu, and Valentina Suriani are sitting in a car at the Hutchinson River Parkway Service Road, which, by the way, don't park on the Hutchinson River Parkway Service Road in the Bronx. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's a bad idea. First off, it's a couple blocks away from the Luria Valenti shooting.
Right. And
anyway,
it's in the Bronx.
Yeah. Anyway, resident of a nearby building hears gunshots, calls the police. 2 more dead bodies a month after the press conference. Imagine being a cop back then. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you going to do? Like,
Another one. Give me another pad of paper, Billy.
Yep.
Write another one down.
Just keep writing it all down. So after this, police discover a handwritten letter near those bodies.
Okay.
Written in mostly block capitals and lowercase. Addressed to the NYPD captain, Joseph Borelli.
And analyze this handwriting, idiots.
And in the
That would
letter,
do.
Berkowitz reveals the name Son of Sam for the very first time. The press had previously dubbed him the .44 caliber killer because of the lack of information or creativity that they had.
But still cooler than Son of Sam.
The letter, yeah, it's not wrong. The letter expressed the killer's determination. But you know what, DC? Let's get into it. So there's the beginning. Now, bear with me. This is going to take a minute because this is only the beginning part. But I'm going to read you his first letter because he wrote a couple, and I'm not going to read the second one. That would be just absurd.
Okay. Yeah.
I am deeply hurt by you calling me a woman hater. I am not. But I am a monster. I am the son of Sam. I am a little brat. When Father Sam gets drunk, he gets mean. He beats his family. Sometimes he ties me to the back of the house. Other times he locks me in the garage. Sam loves to drink blood. Go out and kill, commands Father Sam. Now remember, all of these commands are coming from Sam, because we'll find out who Sam is way later on in the story.
Okay.
Behind our house, some rest. Most young, raped and slaughtered, their blood drained, just bones now. Papa Sam keeps me locked in the attic, too. I can't get out, but I look at the attic window and watch the world go by. I feel like an outsider. I am on a different wavelength than everybody else. Programmed to kill. And by the way, just riddled with spelling errors. T-O-O.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a women hater.
Yeah, women. Yeah, I should have read this verbatim, yeah. However, to stop me, you must kill me. Attention all police. Shoot me first, shoot to kill, or else. Keep out of my way or you will die. Papa Sam is old now. He needs some blood to preserve his youth. He has had too many heart attacks. Too many heart attacks. Ugh, it hurts. I'm going to read this verbatim. The cops figured out what this meant. It's like a Scottish term. But, ugh, me hoot, it hurts, sonny boy, which is my heart, it hurts, apparently. But he just writes like shit. I miss my pretty princess most of all. She's resting in Our Lady's house, but soon I'll see her. I am the monster, Beelzebub, the chubby behemoth. I love to hurt. The chubby behemoth was my favorite line. So anyway, he kept going.
Yeah.
And it was all fine. He signed off in that one, yours in murder, Mr. Monster. So that was a nice little ending.
That was nice. That was really try hard of him.
It
that
was.
whole letter just reeked of try hard.
And DC, they knew that.
Yeah.
Serial killers, at least half of them, right? They all eventually need more attention.
Yeah.
So
it's
they
all
knew
an ego trip.
They knew that's what this was. This is a seeking attention grab. Maybe we can learn something. They go through it. They analyze it all different ways, up, down, left, right. They go through all the horrible grammar. And after talking to some psychiatrists, some, what would you call it? Like handwriting analysts, whatever. They release a psychological profile of their suspect. He's described as a neurotic person, probably suffering from paranoid schizophrenia, and believing himself to be a victim of demonic possession. So we'll see how...
I could have told you that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how close they get on that. May of 77. So again, this is all in a couple of years. The Daily News columnist Jimmy Breslin receives a handwritten letter from someone who claims to be the .44 caliber shooter. The letter was insane. I'll give you two quick highlights. The beginning. Hello from the gutters of NYC, which are filled with dog manure, vomit, stale wine, urine, and blood. True. Hello from the sewers of NYC, which swallow up these delicacies, which they are washed away by the sweeper trucks. Hello from the cracks in the sidewalk of NYC, and from the ants that dwell in these cracks and feed on the dried blood of the dead that is settled into said cracks. So that's the beginning. basically, the point of this letter is he really likes the writer, honestly. He's like kind of a fan of his work. He likes reading about himself, and this is the guy writing. So that must be a weird feeling for the writer. But basically, the letter is saying, I'm still around. Here's the end bit of the letter, DC. JB, please inform all the detectives working the case that I wish them the best of luck. Quote, keep 'em digging. Drive on, think positive. Get off your butts. Knock on coffins, etc. Upon my capture, I promise to buy all the guys working the case a new pair of shoes if I can get up the money. Son of Sam.
That handwriting's like way better than his.
And they analyzed that. And they went through that, DC. You're good. You're a good detective. But they determined that it is him. He wrote in a different way. And the Daily News publishes the letter a week later after working with the police, right? We'll keep a couple of details to ourselves or whatever. And Breslin is urging him to surrender in the article, which, good try. Highest selling edition of the Daily News in history, by the way, which won't be broken. Police received thousands of tips based on the references and things that he said. All useless. None of them worked, and I'm sure the police checked out every single one.
Yep.
All the shooting victims to this date have had dark hair. Thousands of women in New York went to get haircuts, dyed their hair, and wigs ran out in the city.
Oh, of course.
After the letter. In the coming months, Berkowitz struck 2 more times, both parked cars, both dark-haired victims, both had 2 victims. 3 survived, 1 did not. And basically what I learned from this was that people have an absurd ability to survive gunshot wounds to the head. Like the the ratio of survivors here is way higher than I thought. So now we get to the suspicion. So we get this dumb woman named Cecilia Davis walking her dog near the scene of the Moskowitz and Via Leonti shooting, and I think I use first names for them, but it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
When she saw a patrol officer putting a ticket on a parked car, and right after that, this guy walks from near where the parked car was. She thinks it's his car, and she notices that he's like staring at her and like eyeing her up, and it creeps her out a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
And he's carrying some dark object in his hand, but it's nighttime. She can't really tell what he's carrying, but it kind of freaked her out a little bit. She ran to her home, and she heard gunshots down the street as she got home. And then she thought about it for a while. Like, oh, was that something that happened? Like, should I tell somebody? So 4 days later, she contacts police. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I needed eggs at the store. I forgot. Oh, yeah, and somebody shot
Somebody tried to
4
murder
rounds
me. Forgot about that
into my car the other day. I should probably get around to that, too.
So the cops are like, okay, let's look through all the ticketed cars from there, that street. Berkowitz's 1970 four-door yellow Ford Galaxy was among the cars ticketed that night. They look into it. The Yonkers police say, let's schedule an interview with this guy. Others in the Yonkers police had liked him for a bunch of crimes around Yonkers because he was like a known arsonist as a kid. So like,
right.
like they liked him for a bunch of other shit. And then at some point someone did say like, he could be Son of Sam, you know? And then somebody else was like, nah, he's not. So
Definitely not him.
So after they schedule
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, you're wasting our time. So after they say we'll talk to him, they go to his car, parked outside his apartment. They see a gun in the back seat, giving them probable cause to search the car.
Even back then.
Yep.
What a travesty.
And in the car, they find a duffel bag filled with ammunition, maps of all the crime scenes, and a threatening letter addressed to Inspector Timothy Dowd of the task force, which is not good evidence to have found in your car. Police decided to wait for him to leave his apartment rather than risk a violent encounter in the hallway, which basically they Henry held him. That's just what happened. Hey, let him come outside and don't move, motherfucker. So a paper bag containing a .44 caliber bulldog revolver of the type that was identified in all the different ballistics tests was found next to him in the car. And he looked at the cop and he said, "Well, you got me." And the detective said, "Well, now that I've got you, who have I got?" And he said, "No, I don't. Tell me."
My God.
"I'm Sam." "You're Sam? Sam who?" "Sam. David Berkowitz." He didn't say son of Sam, which I was hoping for. So he admits he's arrested. Police search his apartment. They find it just a mess, stuttering John disarray mess with satanic graffiti on the walls. They find diaries that he'd kept since he was 21. Stenographer's notebooks full of the details of his arsons, which were over 1,400 cases, according to him, in his books of shit that he'd lit on fire.
Not bad.
And DC, he held out. He was interrogated for almost 30 minutes, but he wasn't really. He confessed very quickly. He confessed very quickly to the shootings and expressed an interest in pleading guilty. During questionings, he claimed that his neighbor's dog was the main reason for his killings.
Okay.
Stating that the dog demanded the blood of pretty young girls. He said that the Sam mentioned in the first letter was his former neighbor, Sam Carr, but that Carr's black lab Harvey was possessed by an ancient demon and issued irresistible commands to Berkowitz that you must kill.
Okay.
Which my girlfriend wants a black lab. I'm in now.
Yes.
Let's do it. Later, he declared that this claim was a hoax. It wasn't. He stated in a series of meetings with his court-appointed psychiatrist that he had long contemplated murder to get revenge on a world that had rejected him, which, again, we knew. 3 separate mental health examinations determined that he is competent to stand trial.
Yes.
Despite this, defense lawyers advised him to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of his insanity, but he refuses. Like a gentleman, I guess. He appears calm in court as he pleads guilty to everything. At his sentencing, he causes an uproar as he tried to Bundy himself out of a seventh floor courtroom window. After he, I'm reading way ahead of myself. After he was restrained, he repeatedly chanted, "Stacy," who was his last victim. "Stacy was a whore. I'd kill her again. I'd kill them all again." So now he's trying to go the insanity defense, right? That's what you think.
Sure. What you think?
The court ordered another psychiatric examination before the sentencing could move on. During the evaluation, he's steering bigger into the skid, draws a sketch of a jailed man surrounded by monstrous walls, and at the bottom wrote, "I am not well. I am not well at all."
That's a theme tonight.
He's trying to get out of it. He does not get out of it. He is found competent to stand trial.
Bummer.
Sentenced to 25 to life to be served consecutively, but everybody was big pissed because eligible for parole in 25 years. 1979, there's an attempt on his life in prison. He needs 50 stitches to the side of his face and neck. But he refused to identify who had stabbed him, claiming that he was grateful, that he found a sense of justice, and that the punishment was what he deserved. Now, DC, this was the beginning of a new chapter for Son of Sam. Here's older David Berkowitz. He became an evangelical Christian, as you'd imagine.
Oh, good. So he's going to heaven after all. This has got a good ending.
It does.
This is a good ending to the story. Good. Good for him.
It happened after he read Psalm 34, verse 6 from the Bible, which was given to him by a fellow inmate. He said he's no longer the son of Sam. He's the son of hope.
Oh, I thought he was going to say he's the son of Pam, but you'd have to be a Bible nerd to get that joke.
I just thought it was a rhyme, which was fine. Berkowitz stays involved with the prison ministry. He counsels inmates. He earned a degree from community college while he's in jail. Now, he's entitled for a parole hearing every 2 years, but he doesn't want it. He believes that, here's a quote from him, "In all honesty, I believe that I deserve to be in prison for the rest of my life. I have, with God's help, long ago come to terms with my situation, and I have accepted my punishment." But the courts are like, "No, you got to show up for your parole hearing, idiot."
No, we're letting you go. Get in here now.
In 2016, they bring him in, and he says, I know it's unrealistic to let me out, but I feel I am no risk whatsoever. And his lawyer's like, yeah, he's a model inmate. Look at all the statements from the workers here. Denied parole. 2018, denied parole. 2020, COVID canceled his parole hearing, so he's still in.
All right.
Case was reopened a couple times throughout the years because there's a lot of conspiracy theory to this in terms of more than one killer. This guy's an idiot. Did he really write both letters? All this stuff, right? And there's a lot of people that question these things. I find that this quote sums it up nicely, and I'm going to attempt to read again and not trip over myself. FBI profiler John Douglas spent hours interviewing Berkowitz. He stated that he was convinced Berkowitz acted alone and was a, quote, introverted loser, not capable of being involved in any group activity, which sounds right. The guy who got the original letter, Jimmy Breslin, also rejected a bunch of these claims, saying when they talked to him that night, he recalled everything step by step. The guy has 1,000% recall. That's it. He's the guy. Nothing else to look at. Anyway, DC, I think it was a whole misunderstanding, and I have a clip to prove it. I'm pretty sure he never said Son of Sam at all. I'm pretty sure he was saying Seinfeld's van.
I think so.
Seinfeld's van! Seinfeld's van! Seinfeld's van!
Wait, what's he saying?
I think he's saying Son of Sam! Oh my God! I knew it wasn't Berkowitz!
Me too, George. Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, DC.
Very nice. Oh, very nice. That's really funny.
he was interesting to learn about. Let's jump into some honoraries, but
Yeah, please do.
Before I do my honoraries, I have a non-honorary, actually. DC, the Indians, becoming the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? It's not the worst thing they could have come up with, but it's close.
Yeah, PC bullshit aside, this would have been a terrible name for a Madden 2004 My Team. Never mind a pro baseball team. It's like naming a landlocked team the Islanders. It just doesn't make sense. All right, let's move to some honoraries, DC.
Okay.
Honorary number 1. We go to Nashville for this one.
Okay.
Metro Police arrested a man on multiple charges, including assaulting 2 police officers after he took off his colostomy bag and swung it around at the officers.
Effective.
Police say,
I'll bet that was effective.
police say this gentleman here, Nicholas Newhart, was drunk and holding a bottle of beer beside the emergency exit at Kid Rock's bar in Nashville. Kid Rock bar security told the defendant, you have to leave that area. That's an emergency exit. He didn't want to, so security flags down police. And they're like, listen, you got to go. Newhart took out his colostomy bag from the inside of his pants and started swinging the bag, covering both officers in feces. Police say he was drunk. They didn't have to.
No.
When he was taken into custody. No further incident, and he's being charged with assault. So, and public intoxication, which I thought was insult to injury, once again.
Yeah. Thank God
DC,
it wasn't in Florida this time.
Just so close.
So
Do you
close.
You remember the last ladies bonus show? I played for you the Call Me Maybe None rewrite.
Yeah, the one
trying to
that went
ordain women.
painfully long.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that part of it,
Dude, that was so bad. Why
right, well-
did you play that for so long last
Well,
time?
good news. Good news. I have a new song. This is brave young men speaking their truth, not the truth of their moms or teachers. And good news, it goes just as long.
Feminist boy.
Watch me be a man who has all the feels. I can laugh, cry, sing, and still keep it real.
I don't have to be tough just to get respect.
I know words, not fists, solve arguments.
Watch me be a man who doesn't only wear blue. Why can't pink and purple be boy colors too?
I feel bad for macho men who won't wear sparkles. Those old
God, were those kids wearing pussy hats?
Patriarchal. Macho, punch, tough guy, girl. That is so passe. That is not my future. Macho, grab.
Oh my God, dude,
Annoyed.
doing it again.
Toxic. I'm a feminist boy.
All right, there you go.
Thank
DC,
Christ.
no! I made a prediction.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That was apropos. I couldn't have chosen a better image myself.
I made a prediction on that one.
Dude, that's so cringy. That's so bad.
It bothers me to a point that I can't properly describe.
Yeah, words, not what? Violence solve arguments? No, words in arguments lead to fists. That's what it was. Words, not fists. No, they're both. Can't untangle them, kid. Watch what you say, or you will get punched in the face. That's
Poor
a
little
world
kids.
that I can advocate.
15 years from now, looking at a song where they sang the word patriarchal, they still don't know what it means. Yeah. Honorary number 3 for me, DC. Man gets arrested, but this time we do have a goddamn honorary gentleman. He gets arrested in the most gentlemanly way possible, outrunning the cops, then coming back.
It's really good. You fast, bro, but you ain't fast on I'm a feminist. What you know? You ain't get me. I got you. Where the? Oh, it's tiring. I'm hot. Don't tase me. That shit stings. My safe word is pineapple juice. Get that?
Hey, just like that. Cross your ankles.
Ooh.
Cross your ankles.
We gonna take pictures?
Bring your ankles up to your butt.
Swap man, what's my safe word?
Bring your ankles up to your butt.
That's how far I go. You think I'm in Pilates?
Say just like that.
It was fun. Ah! What you doing? Ooh, oh, that's cute. Oh, watch your hands, bud. Oh, that's my. Don't do that. That's my lighter. It don't work. Don't do drugs, kids. Those are my quarters. You wanna put those in your pocket? That is change. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Some of those are limited edition. Well, that's my flash drive. Don't look at it unless you want to see Big D. That's my wallet. You have no. Ooh. And watch your fingers, booty hole man. He's strong. No wonder y'all together. You like doing the weird shit? What's your safe word?
He's the greatest.
That's the funniest thing. I hope that's real. I doubt it, but I hope that's real.
I do too. He's my favorite.
Oh, man, that's funny.
All right, this one's great. We have an honorary gentleman, and let's be honest, an honorary lady in this one.
Okay.
In this video, we have an African-American gentleman being chased down in a Walmart parking lot by a brunette blonde woman. Son of Sam, Target, I think. Mm-hmm. What had happened was she was walking through the store, and her son says, "I can't find my phone." And, uh-oh, DC. And he had noticed that she was kind of like looking at him and eyeing him up a little bit. So he goes out to the parking lot, and she chases him down. And she says, "I'm following the Find My Phone, and it's you. You have my son's phone?" And he's like, "I don't have your son." We'll play it. He starts videoing.
Yeah.
For his
What
own
will
protection.
happen when you're wrong? What happens? What do I get? Just an apology?
Sure.
That's not good enough.
No, we're staying here until you give me my phone because it marks that you're here.
I don't have a phone.
No.
Ma'am, you're
Nope.
really crazy. You're following
Yeah.
me now.
Now I am.
That's good.
Because that phone
A
has
sorry
cost
is
me
not
money.
good
Yes.
enough. A sorry person isn't
Well,
good
now
enough for
you're
me.
full of shit, and now I am accusing you. You said you were staying here because you have nothing to
You're
own, right?
accusing
So
me.
let's go ahead and stay
Thank
here.
you.
Now, DC, a gentleman remains a gentleman in all situations. We know this.
Here, come on. We can walk back up to the front. There's too many cars passing. No problem at all.
Yeah, good call. It's dangerous out there.
Yeah.
Now, as they walk back to the store, I think he only suggested to go back to the store because he had this line ready.
The phone should be following us, right? Right? If I have a phone, it should be following me. I haven't even got to my car yet. So if I stole the phone, it'd be in my pocket, right? She's not smart enough to know that.
So they get back to the store. Now they're in the store and they're starting to talk to the greeter, which if I have a problem and I had to make a list of people that I want to help me with that problem, I don't know where Walmart greeter falls on it, but it's below David Berkowitz.
Yeah. Like, I got a kid's birthday party. I need you to, pat down the kids when they get in. Can you do that? No. All right, you're worthless. Get out of here.
So they're in the store. They're talking to the greeter. You can tell she's not having a good time.
That's not my fault. But being racially profiled, that's going to be
When
hers.
we were in the parking lot, it was marking him like right there, but I can't.
Where's that now? It's still marking me? It should follow us, right? If I have the phone, right, it should follow us in the store.
I am going to.
So she's upset, but we get a resolution.
Her son found the phone. Her son found it though. It was in the car. Her son found it in the car. So now I'm going to press charges. May I have your name, please? May I have your name, please?
You're gonna press charges for what?
Okay, that's okay. I'll get your license plate.
She's fighting the good fight. For all the Karens out there.
I think he was the Karen at the end of the day on that.
I think they were both. Well, I edited a lot. He was talking a lot about racial profiling through the video.
Of course he was.
So it didn't work out, but like I said, she's fighting the good fight. Next honorary, DC. You remember how Jimmy the Greek kind of explained historical fact, but in like the most distasteful way possible, got himself in trouble?
Yeah.
So this teacher applies what he learned.
Good.
But he builds to it, because really the only part that was totally... Because the rest of it's kind of factual, I guess, for sure. But the 3 words at the end here, not needed.
Bro, just come here really fast. Like, say with this guy, he's taller, but like, just to compete with this guy on the market, he's just an average-looking white dude, you know what I mean? Okay, dude, you're really handsome, actually. He's a really handsome-looking white guy. And, no, but to compete with him on the dating market, what this study was, what they were looking at was how much more money these 2 guys have to make, how much more they have to be, how much more educated, how much more money they have to make, et cetera, to get as much attention, say, on like dating websites as this dude, right? What's your name, bro? Justin. And it's really a lot. And the issue is what you're saying is like Asian men are not seen as desirable sexual partners or in any way.
Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Oh, yeah, just kick them while they're down. But good, that's good that he's a feminist, or maybe he gets around to the black women, because that's really the low end of that dating study that they did. that's the real losers on that thing. Because the Asian men tend to make $100,000s of dollars more than their counterparts. So
that's right.
They're all right.
DC, he closes strong.
Thanks, dog. Yeah, man. Nice hair, by the way. All right.
Thanks, dog.
Thanks, dog. Nice hair, by the way. God damn it. Go kill
All right,
yourself.
last one for me. A guy on Newsmax finally makes a good point.
One thing I've always thought, and maybe you can guide me on this because obviously I'm not a doctor, but when I've always thought about vaccines, and I always think about just nature and the way everything works. And I feel like a vaccination in a weird way is just generally kind of going against nature. Like, I mean, if there is some disease out there, maybe there's just an ebb and flow to life where something's
like
supposed
cancer.
to wipe out a certain amount of people, and that's just kind of the way evolution goes. Vaccines kind of stand in the way of that. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does that make sense to somebody in medicine?
If one more person asks me about a patient today, I'm going to scream.
I didn't have really good use for that, but all right, DC, there you go. Those are my honoraries for the week.
Idiot.
Yeah, no
great.
fucking moron.
Yeah. It just goes, it's kind of rude. Don't you think vaccines are a little bit rude to nature, if you had to say? I think it's rude.
I think we'd all get to work a lot faster if we'd get rid of these pesky traffic lights. I think everything would be way better off. No way we'd all run into each other.
Yeah, really would.
DC.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Go get drunk, Casey. You ready?
Halfway there.
Halfway there. I've got 3 honoraries today, and we'll start out with this one that I've just gone ahead and captioned. Everyone deserved everything.
All right, so we got sidewalk. Oh!
All right, let's pause.
Yep.
Casey, if you would, next image for me.
Okay.
Real quick. No helmet, first of all. No shoes. Where the fuck are his shoes? Like, they didn't fly off.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
crash. I think he was just riding his motorcycle with no fucking shoes.
How did he swerve so close to the building and hit it?
If you want to start from the beginning, this jackass in a pink shirt goes right out in front of traffic. You can see him up at the top. And these 2 guys on their mopeds or motorcycles or whatever come down. And to swerve to miss this guy, he has to come up kind of on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And there's like a little brick step or
I see
a landing
or
something.
Curb.
And
it's a curb, yeah.
He fucking hits it and does a perfect flip out of the screenshot. It's just clips in and then boom. No helmet, no
great.
shoes. He continues out of the screen. It was perfect, out of frame, and his friend wipes out on his bike. So go ahead and keep playing here. His friend wipes out. Oh, I don't have a helmet either. Oh, my head. Oh, wait, there's my helmet. I didn't tighten it. Oh, good thing I'm wearing a mask. Smart. Way to wear a COVID mask. At least you didn't catch COVID today, but your friend died. so that sucks.
But not of COVID, so a victory anyway.
Not of COVID. Yeah, I hope, Casey, this next video, I hope this was later. Like them carrying away the first guy. Next clip.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What are you doing?
Perfect. Well executed.
You got somebody on a gurney in a pickup truck with a tailgate down, and they just fucking slide right out.
They answered a call and added a patient on the way to the hospital. It's really something else. Casey, do you remember that behemoth that went into GameStop that one day and was like, "It's ma'am!" And just
Yep. Of course. I'll never forget it.
We found the British version of it's ma'am. I called this one, "It's ma'am, you cunt."
Disgustingness.
That's nasty.
You're nasty.
You're
Look
nasty.
at you.
What,
Look at
pointing
you.
at me. Help
Like
me.
you.
Help me, someone.
People like
Go
you,
look
yeah.
at.
You should
Listen
get-
here, son. You fucking pointing at me again, you cunt. I'll drop you, alright? Fucking jog on. And you prick.
Yeah, Casey, I agree. That's awesome.
Gordon Ramsay in a wig. Good for him.
Gordon Ramsay in a wig, yeah. All right, Casey, without further ado, I will let my gentleman once again introduce themselves.
Now here he is, the host with the most, Christian Chan.
Yay!
What? Sorry, what?
Christian Weston Chandler, Casey. Otherwise known as Chris Chan.
God, you've talked about him before.
Casey. Oh, you're in for one today, buddy. Everybody buckle up.
You're getting no's in the chat.
Everyone buckle up for Chris Chan. This man is highly unwell. This man is unwell. I can't say the other word anymore in polite company, so I'm now just referring to anything and everything like that. Unwell. Chris Chan was born February of 1982 to parents Bob and Barbara Chandler. His dad was 54 when he was born, and his mother was 40.
Oof.
So Chris Chandler was born a little unwell, and he says that he said his first words at 18 or at like 2.5 months old, which is like unheard of. And then at a year and a half, he says that his babysitter was fed up with him one night when his parents were out or something like that, and she locked him in a room with like all his toys and shit, but with the lights out. And she would just shut him in his fucking room with the lights out, and he says that this like traumatized him. How he would remember that at a year and a half, he wouldn't. So I don't know if maybe somebody told him this, or if this is like
How could he not remember it? He remembers talking at 2.5 months old.
Yeah, that I think was repeating a lie. But the locking somebody in a room, you know, maybe that happened to him when he was like 7 or something, and then just he told himself falsehood so many times that he just believed it or something. But anyway, that's what he claims by the time he's an adult and on the internet and shit like that. So babysitter locks him in the dark, very traumatic. He has a neighborhood friend named Sarah who grew up across the street from him, and Sarah was later described to him. Sarah was his greatest childhood friend, right? He thinks of her very fondly, but when other people are asked about Sarah, she was kind of a bully, right? That she took advantage of his innocence and curiosity about social things and stuff like that. And one day, Sarah told Christian that Casper the Friendly Ghost lived under her house in the basement. So he crawled down there into this like open space underneath her house, and all he found was spider webs and bugs and dirt. And she locked him underneath the house. So his best friend locks him under the house in the dark with fucking spiders and shit when he's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something like that. So babysitter locks him up. Best friend locks him up in the dark. He has a friend later, a friend who's a girl. He doesn't have any guy friends at all. I think it's just girls that kind of felt sorry for him or were just a little bit more kinder spirited, and would give him the time of day. But this other friend he had at the end of elementary school, I think, her name was Natasha. And he falls in love with, everybody he comes into contact with. You might know somebody like that. And he says that he saw Natasha smoking. So that killed it for him. Like, he's super anti-smoking. We'll get into all his dating antis. But smoking is one of them. And at this point, that kills it for him. He's no longer attracted
I love that
romantically.
he thinks he needs dating antis.
Oh, buddy. Hold on. We'll get into that. And he also says that on occasion he would give her money on behalf of his dad for, quote, her friendship and attention, which is like the saddest thing.
So she's like a friend prostitute as a kid.
Yes, and his dad would routinely get involved in his friendships monetarily. So this is a theme. Bob was very, very into Christian's social life and making sure that he was.
Oh my God, this kid I grew up with, Chris with a K. We only went to his house because he had N64.
Nintendo? Yeah.
Yep. Only went to his house because he had N64. So that's what's happening here. Okay.
The kid who had a trampoline at his house.
I didn't realize that
you'd push him off the trampoline.
I didn't realize his parents were baiting us there. Like,
Yes.
if we get him an N64, his friends might, or no, not his friends might come over. He might get someone to come over and
The
maybe
neighbors
become a
might
friend.
come over, yeah. So that's pretty sad. In 1993, Sega held a contest for their Sonic the Hedgehog, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, which was huge. I used to watch that every fucking Saturday morning, right? And
In your 30s.
in my 30s. And Christian was super into the show when he was 11. And this promotion they had was like, you had to, Christian explains it himself. If you play the next video, I think the question they asked him before this was, hey, Christian, you won this contest. Congratulations. How do you feel?
I had to do was exactly watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, and I'd listen to what Sonic says at the end of it, and write it down for a whole week, and then I had to mail it in, and I had to be drawn out of a hat, and I just won.
I can't tell he has autism at all. That was fantastic. Yeah, kid, we know. We know how you won. We know the mechanics of the thing that you won. Anyway.
It's like Giannis, you've been working for 8 years in the NBA. What does it feel like to win your first championship? Well, we had to play a few games in the first round, and we won 4 of them. And that
we had to win
advanced
4
us.
out of 7. And then we had to do that again. And then we had to do that again. And then after we did that, we had to do that again. And we did it, and we won the championship.
Thank you. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah. Back to you in the studio. I have to go now because I feel awkward. I feel what I think is awkwardness. I need to get up and leave now.
You could have taken a shit on the floor, and that would have probably been better than what we've accomplished. Thank you.
So he gets like $1,000 spending spree at Toys R Us or whoever was doing the promotion, right? And he spends $1,000 on video games, obviously, and he is obsessed. He can master it. According to his dad, he would get a new game and just master it in like 3 hours, and then he'd get a new game and blah blah blah. But he got
my dad
really
would
super.
have been like, "Are you good at that video game? You're doing it too much."
Yeah.
You should be terrible at
Are
that.
you good at mowing the
outside.
lawn yet? No? All right. Get out there. Mow the lawn.
Practice, bitch.
Practice mowing the lawn a little more. A little less breaking those blocks for coins or whatever the fuck you're doing. So Chris Chan is huge into video games. He gets big into the Super NES version of Animal Crossing, where you can, it's like Minecraft. Before Minecraft, you build your island and you make it look like whatever. He's got a lot of OCD tendencies, obviously. So he makes this island look like his own house. So he has like characters on there that's his mom and dad, and he creates this land that is supposed to be like it's supposed to be a remake of this first date or their first house they lived in or something, and he gave it to them as a present. It was like super elaborate, and his dad was like, "The fuck is this?
What the fuck is going on?
What is this?" It's like pixely people, and he's like,
Dwight from The
"Yay!"
Office's Second Life.
Yeah,
All the same
he could
shit.
fly. It's exactly like my regular life, but I can fly. So, he's just always home all the time, and when he goes to school, he obviously has issues with bullies and things like that you would expect, but he has a really good teacher in middle school that kind of points him in the right direction, is like a really good influence for him, and goes on to high school to have all these, again, girl friends that are all older than him, and I think just took pity on him, and he turned that into, oh, they love me as much as I love them. He works his way through trying to go for each of them, right, and get shut down kindly. But he has this project. Let me see if I there's so much on this fucking guy. I feel like I'm missing shit. Yeah. Okay. So freshman year of high school, he has to ride the bus to school, and this hilarity ensues. Casey,
riding on the school bus, he used to sit right in front of the bus door, so he could always get off the fastest. However, during his freshman year, he got into an altercation with another boy who wanted to be off the bus first.
Spurg fight. I think we found another two goddamn gentlemen, Casey.
Oh, man. Get a name on that kid.
My kids, 5 years old and 4 years old, they fight on who gets to get in and out of the car first. So, I can relate to what this bus driver was going through. So to fix this situation, because you can't have these two boys fighting every fucking day, who's going to get out of the bus first, where they just argue the same points back and forth ad nauseum until their parents rip them apart and take them to their respective basement dungeons. But they decide, we're going to put Chris Chan on the special bus and ship him into school with the other special kids. Why the other kid was not deemed the special kid that had to go on the bus, I can only imagine.
I have a guess. It was the bus driver's statement. Yeah, I heard little Jimmy from row 5 repeatedly saying to his friends the 40-minute ride going, "No, I'm going to get off before him. No, I want to see what he does. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get off before him.
I'm going to jump over his seat, and I'm getting out before him."
So
And
they realized
he's gonna
Jimmy was
scream.
fine. Jimmy's fine.
Jimmy's fine. He's going to scream.
Jimmy's
and
just
he did.
a little shit.
So this is the realization I had. His description of the other kids on the short bus. He called them, quote, slow in the minds, all hyphenated, slow hyphen in hyphen the hyphen minds, slow in the minds. That's what he called them.
You know
so
what they
he's
were
a
called?
douchebag.
You know what they were called in the 60s?
Spaz. Yeah, spastics.
Trainables.
Trainables?
Yes, because you could train them to do. There's videos. I'll pull one. I heard it
They're
on
like
Opie
dogs.
Anthony
They're like in the
15
same tier
years
as
ago. I'll
dogs.
have
They're
to
like
find it.
trainables.
Yeah, I'll have to find
Invalids. Oh my god. Yeah, so the slow in the minds, he said this one kid sat behind him and just bonked him on the head, or bopped him on the head the whole time. And he couldn't even talk. He just said, So he got so... he got so fed up. He got so fed up with this slow in the mind that he told the bus driver, and the bus driver told his older brother to have him give it down. I feel like his older brother probably wasn't handicapped, but he had to stick up for his head bopping brother because that kid's gonna get his ass kicked.
The parents have to talk every 6 weeks. No, I understand you don't want to be no, but listen, you don't understand what Lucas needs. Like you need to
Lucas just needs a friendly head to bop that's not somebody who's gonna kill him. So you got to go to school with him every day and just get your head bopped. Sorry, bud. You got to take one for the team. Here's some money from your father for your friendship and attention.
And an N64 in case you need it.
Yeah. So speaking of gaming, Chris Chan in high school comes across, or maybe his middle school, I don't give a fuck. Whenever Pokemon came out for him in 1998-99 time frame, he found this gaming place where you'd go and play Magic or whatever, any game where you'd play collectible cards, presumably. And he would go there all the fucking time. It was like his haven, right? It was his place where he felt like he could get along with other people. He probably didn't get along with people, as we'll get into a little later, but for him it was a good place to be.
See, as I don't know where this is going. I don't know what happens to Chris Chan through this story. I'm sensing a theme where it's headed, but so far, if one or two of these weird obsessions or things had happened to Son of Sam, that would have turned out differently, right? He could have just been bopped on the head on the bus and loved anime, right? Like that could have happened, but
it could have been, but his parents gave him up. So, in addition to finding this place to go, he's got his girlfriends in high school that he hangs out with, and he said, quote, it was of one of his girlfriends who had a boyfriend, and they would hang out together all the time. He said it was, quote, fun to watch them flirt, unquote. That's like the least awesome part about having a friend with a girlfriend, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's
watching them fucking flirt with each other. It's disgusting.
It's fun to watch them not be around each other. Is the only ending to that I can't think of one.
It's fun to watch them fight. It's fun to watch them fight. I love that.
I love your wife. You're more fun when she's not there. There's no questioning that. Everyone's more fun when the wife or girlfriend isn't there. So yeah, wanting to watch somebody flirt is real fucked up.
It's terrible. So in high school, he also created his own Pokemon cards. He considers himself very artistic as well as autistic. And
I find normal Pokemon cards retarded, so I can't imagine what he came up with.
Unwell. They're unwell, Casey. We don't say that anymore. So in his own Pokemon cards that he created, he turned Pikachu into a girl version called Chikachu.
Dude,
which is great.
I have an idea. How many of these are there?
Oh, hundreds, dude. Hundreds. My favorite one is
you have to do one of those live stream Pokemon card openings.
Oh shit, would just unveil one of his Pokemon? Yeah.
No, like 10
Chris
of his
Chan
cards.
Pokemon number 10. Chikachu, the female version of Pikachu, and also Plotistic, a plant that's autistic. I'm not kidding. Which I thought was funny because aren't all plants autistic? I thought they were.
It's like he just kept hearing. I'm not sure if all plants are autistic. I never thought about that.
I'm pretty sure they are, man. I'm pretty sure.
Certainly never thought about it. He just kept hearing that word over and over. Like he knew it. Like he's like, oh, that plant could be. What do I keep hearing people whisper? Autistic, an autistic plant. Cool.
Yeah, Plotistic. Next. So, as you would expect, going through high school, we're still in high school with Chris, his hormones are just raging at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So he's already socially awkward. He doesn't know what to do. He thinks he's very artistic, so he writes a Valentine's Day poem in high school. And he posts it, I think, if not publicly in the high school, I think he posted it like online or something. But somebody found it, and this was my favorite section of this poem. Under the moonlight, the couples of the world kiss. Unfortunately for some, they are interrupted by their parents. Truer high school shit was never written, Casey. Truer high school shit. Not for him.
Not based on
not
based on reality. Not based on reality. No, it was because, and he could have written that in his 30s, right? Like, my parents interrupted.
My parents interrupted. Hand was totally on the shaft.
So close.
They walked right in. So March 17th, 2000. So now Chris is 18. It's his senior year. And he has a project for one of his classes where he's created a greatest hits CD, right? So he's like burned. It was probably computer class or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
But he burned a CD of all his favorite music. And on the cover art, he really, really wanted Sonic and a Pikachu. But they're copyrighted. So, KC, what's a guy to do? Next image.
Use your own fucking Pokemon, right?
Sonichu.
Sonichu. You showed me Sonichu before.
He creates Sonichu.
I forgot about Sonichu. You've showed me that before. That's fucking great.
The combination of Sonic and Pikachu. He starts writing comics where Sonichu is his son. So like Chris Chan is in these comics too, and he's like the father. He's like the father of all these like weird ass like Sonic one-offs. You know, that they're like, hey, this one's a fucking Squirtle with a tails or something. I don't know.
He's the father, and Sonichu's just a loser, and he's trying to get him friends. That's
right.
He just goes off.
He just pays people to hang out with Sonichu. Like, yeah, just he's the unwell person in that world, in that reality.
He keeps giving stuff away. Like Sonichu shit his pants until he was 9. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. So he keeps writing these, drawing these Sonichus, and he registers a website that was like a part of a different forum or something like that. I don't know if it wasn't quite as elaborate as like WordPress or GeoCities or whatever, but he got his own space where he started talking about, he was going to talk about Pokemon. Then he turned it around and started releasing his Sonichu shit there. So, senior year.
Sounds
you got to go to prom.
Used to quit chewing tobacco. Try Sonichu.
Yeah. Try Sonichu. So he's even Chris Chan has to go to prom, right? You can't miss out on prom.
Wait,
and you got to take a hot date.
Chat has a great question. Why is there a chest opening in Sonichu's uniform?
Why
do you see just his cleavage?
I think you know why. Landing strip.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted.
So next image. Here's his hot date. Boom. Takes his mom.
Yep.
Takes his mom to prom. She's looking
She
60.
also showed him to prom with a sandwich in her hand.
Yeah, they did not provide that. She just walked in and had it. So that wasn't great, but he graduates and he actually gets into college. So that was my second point of why this was going to be fine, because I paid for him to go to college. So I can make fun of him a little bit. I feel like I paid for him to go to college.
You might be
started. Yeah. That's getting more and more non-debatable, Casey, every day. He put out internet ads in college at this point for girls, not unlike John Bulla. You'll find that John Bulla and Chris Chan are basically the same guy. Casey, without further ado, here is Chris Chan's list of things that he desires in a girlfriend. He goes 18 to 24-year-old boyfriend-free girl. He says that phrase all the time.
That is a rough start. You have to put that what's happened?
It's not assumed. It's not assumed.
What's going on to you? Oh man.
She's got to be white. She's got to be within driving distance for his parents of their zip code, which is 20 miles apparently. Under 230 pounds, dude.
Did he
way too generous?
Did he hit times 2?
Way.
He did it, didn't he?
Way too generous. 230 pounds. Under 160. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a question.
Smoke free.
I've been fat my whole life. I've never gone over that number. Come on.
Come on now.
Get your shit together.
Some standards. That's a one-way road.
I'm fat and unwell. Come on.
Yeah. I'm willing to give up some things, not that. And, vice versa. She's willing. Anyway. Non-alcoholic. Socially drinks is also acceptable. Okay. So kind of two edges of that.
So alcoholic is fine.
So alcoholic.
Oh wait, so when he said non-alcoholic, what he meant was don't be an alcoholic. That's what he meant. Not
don't be an alcoholic.
Not like you don't drink. Just specifically.
Yeah. Right, just don't be an alcoholic. Caring, pretty, cute. That's redundant. Default language equals English.
What's yours?
Oh my god. ASL.
Oh, the next one's good.
Hopefully a virgin. Fooly cooly knowledge optional. The fuck is fooly cooly? Does anybody have? I'm not talking about the anime.
I assumed he was talking about anime.
I
now
thought
I have no
it was
idea.
anime. Under or equal to 5'10". Open-minded.
So why not just say under or 5'10"?
5'10" or under.
Equal to 5'10" is actually 5'10", by the way.
And why wouldn't you just put the equal to or under or equal to sign instead of writing all that out?
Well, if the number is 230, you have to have 5'10" or over, right? If you are the full 230, you have to be over 5'10".
Yeah, if you're given that much, you got to go up to at least 6'2", you know? 6'2", 230. Even that is too fat. Way too fat.
Right.
If you're 6'2" as a woman, you should be 175. And 20 of it needs to be both boobs. So, anyway. Open-minded, young at heart. Well, she's already young. She doesn't need to be young at heart if she's 18 to 24.
Yep.
How young do you want her? Like,
12.
I'm 10 at heart. He's like, okay, perfect, actually. Well, 12 at heart. Now I'm looking more like 12 at brain. What are you at brain? Because that's what you should be worried about, not at heart.
I'm 14 at heart. I'm 24 in reality, but I'm also on the short bus mentally. So let's get together.
Let's get together and bop heads. You know what I mean? Wink. So, employment optional. So that's nice. He's gonna split those nice social earnings. Graduated from at least high school. College attendant is cool. Yeah, if you're at college, you want to date college chicks.
Sure.
Obviously, it's the holy grail. Fun loving, sweet and charming. Okay, so he ends it off nice. Now, what he does not want, Casey, is a funnier list. The next one.
Oh no, that's too big an image. There's too many things happening on this image for this. No. Uh-oh.
He goes, no, while I truly appreciate the attention from the women who live out of state, Virginia, and those who show in front of iToy, I'm sorry, but if we could not personally meet within 20 miles of this zip code, it's a big no-go. It has come to my attention, it has come to my attentive mind, Jesus, what an ego, that a few women who may be attracted to me are those of whom I would not feel comfortable around. So to avoid later confusion, here's a list of characteristics. He's just rolling in pussy. It's so
yeah, that's so
deep
true.
That he has to say, okay, hold on, ladies.
I mean, it happens to us good-looking guys that, you know, sometimes you just have to swat pussy away, right? Like, I've done that many times.
For all those left who are within the 20-mile radius.
Hey!
After I've culled the herd.
Communion of plebs. Listen to me.
Listen to me. If you are any of these things, you need not apply. Number 1, smokers. Number 2, real drunk alcoholics.
If you are a smoker or a real drunk alcoholic, get off your knees and get out of line. Thank you.
Get out. Current or previous mothers, I support them fully, but I would not feel comfortable walking.
What is a previous mother? Did she give a miscarriage?
Previously made family, yeah.
Miscarriage women are gross. I don't want to date any of them, so stay away.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, you got a faulty plumbing. I don't need that. I don't need to be replacing my... Anyway. Real ugly women. Not just ugly women, like real, you know what I'm saying? Real ugly women. Ugly women, fine. But if you're real ugly...
Yeah, real ugly, no, big pass.
Yeah, currently over 230. So
if
if
you're
you were
229
over 230, yeah.
What if you're 229 mid-pizza? Like,
you're on a short leash. You're on a fucking short leash.
I hope it's strong,
A wide
though.
leash. A wide leash, but it's short.
gonna say.
The low functionally mentally handicapped.
So I'm not even gonna. I'm not
girls
even
at
gonna.
the back.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna. There's no point. Like, the high functioning, like, there's no point.
If you're drooling, tempting, but no.
no.
If your mouth pussy is wet, no. The answer is no. Oh, okay. The seriously physically deformed.
Which actually
He's
goes
just an asshole.
which actually goes with the last one, because anyone that wears a size 8 hat is crossed off both of those checklists.
Autistic, high functionally or otherwise. So he's like, nah.
We don't
just-
need
you
two
could've
of them
just
in the
said
house.
that. You could have just said that.
We-
Yeah, we don't need to. It's too many cooks in the bathroom.
It's like DC, I'm no good at cooking things. My girlfriend's amazing at it. You got to find a balance. We can't both be autistic. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Oh my god. We can't both pet the cat the wrong way. It'll run away.
Its arrow looks stupid.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Its arrow looks stupid. All right, although I myself am high functionally autistic, but that's beside the point. That's exactly the point.
Oh, he
Chris,
did put it. Well, at least he put it in there.
Oh, that's beside the
Holy
point.
shit.
Medium or dark chocolate. That's a nice way to put it.
Wait, is that what I think it is, or is he talking about food?
No Puerto Ricans, no blacks, is what he's saying, pretty much. Or police women. That's suspicious. Just in case I want to do some illegal shit. No police women. I apologize if I've touched any nerves that may cause sadness. Oh, dude, you touched a lot of nerves. But
Heartbroken
none of them were
millions of
sadness.
women.
Oh, none of them were sadness. Okay, Casey. So his antics are a little strange, but he doesn't keep it just to the internet. He gets out in person, gets in front of the people, and it gets him in trouble, as you will see in this next image here. This is him explaining what had happened at a Target. To those who are reading this today, I was at the new Target store across from Forest Lakes, just hanging around, not bothering anyone. Well, and from out of the blue, these two jerks, get it?
No, but
pretty good.
Jerk
Pretty good.
males, I guess, right?
Like the manager, but they're jerks.
Oh,
two
Jesus.
jerks.
Oh, okay.
So stupid.
It's even worse
Asked
than
me
I
to
thought.
leave. Yeah, it's worse. But they said that I was loitering. I was not. I was there, quote, hoping to find an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free girl, like I usually do.
I wasn't loitering. I was actively being a predator.
Like I usually do on the daily. Oh my god. Then from out of the blue, it's not out of the blue anymore. As now that they've confronted you, everything that happens is related and should not be considered out of the blue.
Sir, you have been parked in the handicap spot, and I understand why, but for 3 hours. Like, it's been a long time.
And upside down. So that's not great. And I don't think we need to read the rest of it, but he does this on campus when he's at college.
Oh, DC, we have a question from chat. How old is he while he's chasing these teenagers at Target?
2005, so he's 22.
Okay, so he's in the age range. That's okay. That's okay.
Is he? Yeah, 22, yeah.
That's
so
okay.
cool.
18 to 23 as a 22-year-old's fine. I think, I think you can go, I think 7 to 10 years is a fine gap, DC.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So, so he gets in trouble, and he does this around his college campus as well. Here's an example of a poster that he had hanging up around campus. 21 and single white male, ... Illegible pen scribblings that you'd have to stand an inch away from the poster
I
to
could
see.
zoom in on that. It would do nothing.
No. Yeah,
it would
nothing.
do nothing.
The best part of this poster is the Sonichu in the bottom left.
Sonichu, yeah.
What the hell? Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion.
He put the what do you even call it? Like, is it a gender
the female
logo?
symbols?
Yeah, like what? Why? For what purpose?
Just in case someone couldn't read female. You know, he didn't want the transgender.
I really do want to know what it says, though.
It's all the same shit. Do not be black. Don't be black.
Yeah, no, you can't read a
Smoker.
fucking-
Yeah, no smoker does not smoke or
Yeah, it's all the same shit.
drink alcohol. There you go.
All
So
the same shit.
yeah, no fun. Be no fun.
Non-alcoholic, 8 beers a day is plenty.
Yeah, the Mormon missionaries are looking at this like, fuck, he's in our demographic. We gotta do something else. So one of the teachers or counselor or something, starts noticing that this is getting to be a little much. Next image shows you kind of how bad it gets.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all collected things that he's put up and around everywhere. Some of them are Sonichu advertisements. Most of them are this 21 and single white guy seeking an 18 to 21-year-old boyfriend-free girl. Boyfriend-free girl. That's the number one thing.
I do keep confusing him for Asian because his name is Chris Chan, but his name is Chris Chandler.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be Asian too. It was like he made his own anime. I was like, oh, this guy's pegged for an Asian.
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard he was autistic, and I was like, oh, okay. No, the Chinese kill their
Seems
autistics.
unlikely.
So I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he is one. So this teacher saw all this, and she was like, okay, that's enough. I'm going to bring you in and kind of tell you like, hey, cool it, And I think Chris Chan took it really well. In fact, oh wait, no, he didn't. He drew a terrible picture of her getting murdered or something like that, and like mailed it to her house.
Oh, not great. You don't think it was a good reaction?
No, I don't think so. No, her name was Mary Lee Walsh, and in addition to sending her violent imagery, he would put her ass in his cartoons. Casey, next image. I'll show you kind of what. There we go. There she is. She's got devil horns.
Mm-hmm. This is,
it's just all very weird.
You just explained to me their situation, which is he posted weird shit around campus trying to pick up girls, and she was like, hey, listen, Chris, this is kind of a weird thing. Please don't do that.
Yep.
This makes no sense based on that information.
No sense at all. And then she gets pissed, obviously, that he's sending this email. And so she wants to meet with him. She wants to sit down and meet with him. And this led to Chris sending her what I think is the best email I've read in a long time. Next image. Chris writes, and this is from CWC, Christian Weston Chandler Sonichu at AOL.com. Mary, I've slept on it, and I've realized that note hanging is not the way to get attention, and I don't really want to meet with you either, nor Susan. No offense. I'll tell you what, let's forget the meeting. If you will allow my newsletter to stay in distribution, I will do all of the following. Number 1, I will never hang notes on the wall again. 2, I'll consider stopping my silent treatment on Susan. 3,
Which she was not aware of.
Yeah, I'll consider knocking you and Susan up my scale of respect, each by 2 points. Then he puts in parentheses, 0 equals no respect, 10 equals respect. He doesn't say where they are on the respect, the scale of respect.
They can both go up 2. That's what we've learned.
But Casey, the best part of this is that scale of respect is a hyperlink. And I think he has an actual scale of respect.
God, you're right.
That they
I didn't
might
even
be
notice
on.
that. Is that searchable? Can I find the Chris Chan scale of respect?
Casey, if you go to www.sonichu.com, it is the most comprehensive wiki page of any single person or whatever I have ever seen in my life. It's insane how intricate and involved the trolls and other. Actually, that's the funniest part of this is that he goes off and he considers himself highly functioning autistic. Blah 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 blah. That's always what he's saying until highly functioning autistics actually found out about him, and then he. And then it was really bad for him.
And then they were upset because they weren't allowed to date him. But
so these highly functioning autists find his Sonichu comic, and it starts circulating on the internet. It starts with Something Awful. That's one of the oldest depositories of just terrible internet cringe shit. Then it goes to 4chan, Kiwi Farms, and people start stalking Christian. They start taking pictures of him at his game place, playing cards against kids and shit like that. His parents start getting really paranoid, and Encyclopedia Dramatica is where things kind of really start to get surreal for Chris, and he starts getting, a lot of attention, which he thinks is true interest and love for his comic book. Not that like people are making fun of him. So when he reads all this shit on Encyclopedia Dramatica, which is like a Kiwi Farms of just people posting crazy shit that he's done and shitting on him and making fun of him. Actually, one of those, I think it's the next image. Show the next image for me. See if this is... Yeah, so this is somebody who found his website, and they said, well, I think that link gave my computer HIV. Don't visit it if you value your sanity. Talking about his comic book. It is a mess. His comic book is, you saw that one page. It makes no sense. The dialogue makes no sense.
Yeah, I just clicked on a link in our Discord of something different. I didn't even want to click on it, of Sonichu. So, yeah, like, I don't want to know. I don't want to read the comic.
Yeah, it's real bad. And so, like Wikipedia, Encyclopedia Dramatica would allow its users to edit any page, no matter what. And everybody was pretty much anonymous. So, Chris had a perfect plan, Casey. His plan number one was going to be edit the Encyclopedia Dramatica page with positive information. Take out all the bad stuff and edit it to make it look good.
Oh, the tutor. The
perfect plan.
Tutor.
Perfect plan. Nobody will know that it's him. Except he did all his edits in first person. Shit.
Oh, fuck.
The best laid plans, Casey.
Chris was autistic from 4. No, I wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, no. My mom says that, Chris's mom. So, plan number 2, because that obviously didn't work. People saw right through that, and they made fun of that even more. So, plan number 2, and this is the funniest plan that could have ever... Casey, if you had just a gang of online bullies who were hell-bent on getting embarrassing shit on you, what would your plan of action be if you wanted that to stop?
I would stop being anywhere. Like,
right.
Give them no material.
No material. Get off the internet. Actually become anonymous if you do go back on the internet, right? Chris Chan decides, I'm going to do what I'm going to call Operation Info Overload, where I'm just going to upload so many videos of me telling embarrassing personal stories that it overloads and you don't know what to do. It's a good
They're
plan,
not gonna
right?
think I'm creepy anymore because of how quirky I am.
Or I'll just tell the truth about everything and then they can't lie about me anymore. Is probably what he was thinking. But
that's a worse plan than what I thought. I thought he was just going to try to muddy the truth. He's just coming out with all of it, huh?
Yeah, so he makes videos and he's still, you heard his first intro. He's not great at intros, and this intro to his video shows
said he's not good at talking.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get any better for him, Casey. Next clip.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and dudes of all teenagers.
What?
What?
Dudes of all teenagers?
What?
What the fuck? So, Chris Chandler just continues putting out embarrassing video after embarrassing video, and it gets to the point where the embarrassment spreads, because he can't feel embarrassment. His parents probably are numb to most of the embarrassment. They probably got that out of their system by the time he was 12. They were just completely, demoralized by then.
Numb to it. Yeah,
shells of human beings that they were, all that. Okay, so the embarrassment spreads past his parents. It gets to his church. And some of the trolls, which I think is an asshole move, to ever, reach out to anybody that you're making fun of on the internet. Never actually reach out to them or have them come on your show.
Don't invite them to the Discord.
don't invite them to the Discord. Don't have them come on your show. That's just classless.
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. These trolls called his pastor and were like, "Hey, check out this this Encyclopedia Dramatica page on one of your partitioners. Not a great guy."
Or
church kicks him out.
Why to talk about speaking?
Yeah, church kicks him out. Can't be part of our church anymore. So he loses. Yeah, he loses the church. They tell his love interest, this girl named Megan, "Hey, Megan, have you been to Encyclopedia Dramatica? Maybe you should go over there. Look at this image he drew of you. Next image."
Hey, Megan, do you know you're his love interest?
She does now.
Oh no!
Well, that's probably not Chris. Oh, the Sonichu necklace. That's Chris. Oh boy. Okay, and he signed it at the top.
Okay, so
boy.
DC.
Okay. Yeah, poor form. By the way, is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Well, yeah. First,
you definitely want fingernails across the the hood there.
Your middle finger's getting no work done there. Your middle finger's not going to get any work done there. You need something else there. There's two.
He's piercing the urethra. Anyway.
By the way,
form is
just
bad.
for the record, like 4 hours ago, so DC gives me all these images and shit when I edit later, but I don't see any of them before. And I had opened up your folder on my computer and left it there. And I just heard laughter from someone standing in this room, staring. And I only saw the purple and pink background. I was like, I can't look. DC's gonna show all this to me later. But it makes a lot of sense.
No, that's what that
the
is.
reaction that I got earlier in the day from this fucking image.
I like
that's
two
horrific.
Things. I like two things. Well, three things the most. The fingers going the wrong way. You gotta flip that. That's number one. And
that's a good point. Yeah,
that's number one. Number two, the thumbs up.
Look how big his thumb is. Put that in there.
And the third one is like the witness bar protection across her eyes.
Oh yeah, so you don't know who she is? I didn't even notice that.
Oh god. So anyway, he admits and this Megan girl obviously knows that he's infatuated with her, so she knows it's about her, and she tells Chris, yeah, I can't be associated with you anymore. This is terrible. This is dehumanizing.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
What is the ice-looking stuff? What's happening around his hand? Does she have gray pubes?
I think that's the magic.
That's the anime influence. Oh, it's like the power of the pussy. Got it. Okay.
Or she's extremely wet.
That's not the case. No, it's the first one.
That's the first one.
It's the first one.
It's the aura. The aura. Oh, shit. So she calls things off with him, obviously, and he writes her an email that's like, hey, I'm really sorry. If I had a time machine, I would go back and I wouldn't do the act. But also, I'm not sorry about it because if I hadn't expressed myself artistically like this, who knows? I might have done something worse and stupid. And she's like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, excuse me.
Like you would have raped me? He's like, I don't think he wrote back to that. I don't think he knew what to say. So
what? Like giving me joints?
Yeah.
Giving yourself a proper hair color or correct eyes? Any of those things?
Yeah, it's real generous saying that was artistic what you did there. So he loses his girl. Right? Loses his girl, loses his church.
Bad.
But not only does he lose those two things, Casey, but we come back to his fucking rosebud, dude. He loses the game place.
No.
He gets banned from the game place for yelling at a kid. Didn't even have anything to do with the internet shit.
Oh my god. Dude, if you can't be...
Just yelled at a kid and got kicked out.
If you can't be weird... at a fucking, what do you even call those places? Because it's not GameStop. What do you call that?
Virgin store? I think it's called the Virgin store.
If you can't be him at a Virgin store, you can't be him anywhere.
Yeah, but you can't yell at kids. And apparently he screamed in one of their faces, which I think is hilarious to, think about.
Of all the things that I want him to be on the forefront of let's make it socially acceptable to yell at kids. I love
Yes,
it. Let's
it
get
too.
into that.
So Casey, the trolls would continually catfish him. You know, that's how they always get guys like this. They pretend to be a girl on the internet. They win their trust easily. And then they ask for embarrassing things that they're all too happy to give them.
They go on the internet as somebody that you don't think it is. Then they're a guest on Do You Party. Yeah, it's a whole...
Always. It's always that. Yeah, I think he found me out because I'm only a patron of one show that he wouldn't know, and then the Dick Show, which is actively trolling him, and he hates them. So I think he knows.
Yeah,
But anyway, he loses all those things, and the trolls start getting a little bit more funny. And one guy decides to dress kind of like Chris Chan and be a doppelganger and put out videos. And then the other trolls would like it and pretend like they thought it was him and say this is the best thing he's ever done. This is great.
I bet he didn't hate that at all.
No, he took it really well. We'll get into that, but yeah, he came up with plan number 3, Casey, to dissuade the trolls here. And that plan was to just prove that he was the real Chris Chan by giving out personal information and things that only the real Chris Chan would know. Not these silly stories and things that anybody can make up, but how about a video guided tour of my house and the address? Does that sound familiar? John Bolas style?
Yeah, holy shit. By the way, chat has a good point. Chat wants to see a new image. And on YouTube,
next.
For those of you watching on and for those of you watching on YouTube, you've been seeing another image the whole time because I didn't want us to have I think YouTube will ban us if we leave that up for a half hour. All right, you got a video next, so let me cue it. Ready?
Yeah, so Chris Chan gives a tour of his house, very personal, and his parents find out about that and they get really mad. So I think Chris handled it well, asking people to be, respectful of him and his parents, and he made this next video.
I want everything about my house off the internet.
He's in his house.
He's in his house,
Casey,
full of collectibles.
Casey is very passionate. Do not show his Pete Alonso photo on the internet. Don't do it.
Don't show my face.
Do it.
Don't show my face on this podcast ever. So Casey, he handles that pretty well, but an honorary gentleman makes a surprise entrance.
I'll send in detectives. I'll send in police. I'll send in everything in my power to get it off the internet.
Listen to me. Yes. Listen to me. Yes. Shut that goddamn thing off.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob.
Pimp.
Bob to the rescue.
Knock that shit off. What are you doing in here? So Bob dies. Bob's very old. He dies.
Whoa.
Yeah. Bob dies. And Barb, his mother, is, if you remember, his hot prom date, old as she was back then in 2000. Now, Barb is batshit crazy. Batshit fucking crazy. You think Chris Chan is crazy, but he interviews his mom, which we'll get into later, and she really gives him a run for his money on who is the most unwell person in that house.
So Bob spent 50 years going, I could have made such better choices.
Yeah.
Like, all of this was avoidable for me, and I did this, and I recognize it, and no one else does.
And no one else does, and man, I want to die. I've been wanting to die for so long. And
so you know what? Fucking cheers to Bob. He was happy to go.
Bob was the man. So Bob actually did a lot to look out for Chris to make sure that once he did die, because he's 54 when his son is born, and his son's autistic. That must have been like what he thought about every fucking day. It was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen when I die?
Oh, dude, that's worse than working
unwell
in a coal
son.
mine, right?
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're gonna die so fast.
Yeah, seriously. So, he teaches Chris how to save money. Like, Chris is really good. Yeah, he was really, really good at saving money. But then people would come in and extort him, including his mom, saying, "Oh, you need to help us save the house. We need to make payments on the house, blah, 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 blah," because she spent her estate money poorly, I guess, afterwards. And so she would always go to Chris like, "Oh, we need to sell these collectibles to get more money to pay for the gas bill," and blah, 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 blah. And that on top of all the trolls trying to fuck with him all the time. They'd have elaborate plans to get money out of Chris too, which is a real scum fucking bag thing to do. He thought that this Sonichu land was like real. Like in his imagination, he came up with it, but he had delusions that on the moon, they had this other society of Sonichus or some shit like that. Or maybe, okay, so these trolls told him, Sonichu is in trouble because we have laser guns pointed right at him. And if you don't give us money, we're going to shoot up Quickville.
Come on.
We're going to shoot up Quickville, the made up place, and we're going to kill all the people in there unless you give us money. And he fucking paid him off. So,
No way. Really?
Yeah. They fucked with him. They're pieces of shit.
He's dumber than I thought. Shit.
He is really dumb. So he continues to do his show all the time in his house and just gets fewer and fewer collectibles. And Barb is batshit crazy, like we said. She hoards. She has so much fucking filth and garbage through the whole house that the doors couldn't even open. And one day, their house caught fire because of old insulation that just sparked right up.
The hoarders crew comes through and they're like, "Oh my God, look at this room! Look at this room! Look at this room! Oh my God, look at that! That's the worst garbage we've ever. That's my son! Get it out of here! No,
yeah. That throw away. That newspaper clipping with the gum in it? Nah, keep that.
The dead
keep
cats
that.
are
I need
fine,
that.
but Chris,
yeah, the dead pets are great. They're almost ready, but Chris, he needs to go. So the house starts on fire, and they have so much fucking garbage in their house that the firemen had to go in the window to get it. They couldn't even open the door to get past all the garbage. They had a Christmas tree that was permanently in the corner all year long because the garbage in front of it could never be cleared.
I mean, that
to
saves
get the
time, to be fair, right?
It does save time.
Fine.
And
That's fine.
and it's less intrusive to the neighbors than having your lights up on the house all year, So, so anyway,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have holiday themed rooms in my house when I get a house. Like, this is the Halloween room. So come back in October. You can come back in.
So Casey, without further ado, yeah, give me some time. Without further ado, here's Barb.
Hey, Mom. Say something.
My name is Barbara Chandler.
Are you dead right now?
No.
You're very much alive?
Yes.
How strong do you feel?
Very strong.
Good. Thank you.
That was the best conversation I've ever heard.
It all makes more sense.
It does.
Right?
Hey, let's give her another chance. He does the Chris Chandler show, and sometimes he'll interview his mom with an invisible microphone, and I thought she was just fucking hot off the cuff right here.
Barbara Ann Weston, everybody. Say hello to lovely folks out there. You're being streamed on live Twitch network.
Nailed it.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. New
I like
PC.
the hair. The hair on the deer edit was my favorite part.
Yeah.
But a true gentleman doesn't give up. He's not going to leave his mom hanging. He keeps pressing, and I think Barb gives possibly. Go ahead and play the first question that he asks her.
So, you want to give some kind supportive words to everybody, I don't know, Y'all do well, y'all do good, learn well, be educated and everything, that sort of thing. Give us some wisdom.
I don't know any right now.
Oh, boo. Come on.
Yeah, that was the same conversation that happened with every adult for the last 30 years when they met her son. It was, hey, Barbara,
give us some wisdom.
At any point, could you possibly pull some wisdom out of your brain and apply it to anything going on around you? I'm not specifically talking about your son next to you, but that might help if you had a nugget of a
thought. Barbara comes through with a nugget of thought, but unfortunately gives literally the worst advice that she possibly could have given to Chris. Oh shit, did I not keep it in there? Oh man, it might be coming up later. All right, this is one of Chris Chan's projects where they do a remake of Shrek. And I don't know if he drew these, but I'm guessing he did draw these as well as voice these. This is a YouTube channel that just literally has people do chapter by chapter the retelling of Shrek, and this is his version. This is his portion.
Shrek, that's at the ring, the crowd cheers. Yeah! Yeah!
Oh, give him the Oscar. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. He goes on. I like this cartoon. Let's do some more of this cartoon. Maybe. Or we'll watch his mom give the worst advice, because that could be coming up at any minute with my bad editing.
The bad guy, I forget his name, communicates to the armed forces, and Shrek becomes a bit offended, and Donkey is scared. People of your luck, I give you our champion! The crowd cheers. What? Congratulations, Ogre! You have won the honor of going on a great and noble quest, says that guy, I forget his name still.
I'm watching, and I still have no clue.
Chris Chandler.
Holy God.
Oh, man. What a guy. I fucking love Chris Chandler. Damn it, I am so pissed that video clip of her advice was left out. He goes, come on. He pokes her in the head. He's like, come on, I know you got some wisdom in there. And then she just sits there and goes, be smart.
Fucking too late, Barb.
Too late.
Too late.
Not possible. Oh, man. That was
DC,
just a joy. That was a joy.
That was a tremendous fucking time. Tell everybody where to find all the stuff.
Please go to twogoddamngentlemen.com. There you can find the links to our Twitter, our Patreon, the voting booth, where you can vote Chris up as a true goddamn gentleman, or you're a filthy bigot who hates unwell people. And why would you want to be that, KC?
Yeah, why would you want to be that? DC, I think we've done quite the job bringing some gentlemen tonight, but unseating Mel Gibson? I don't think so. So the search for the ultimate gentleman continues.
Something just happened very bad is what happened, guys.
Wolves aren't gay, USA.
That's what you get for talking all that shit, you fucking asshole.
So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
Life is an imperfect affair at best.
Andre is shocked.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned.